see. I gotta learn how to work all this stuff.
Yeah.
On a Sunday morning. This is the one y'all was waiting for. I'm not waiting, I'm just making more. Plot it out, took the time, executed, good design, a finish line. Type of work, it's not done, just out of time. I'm feeling fine. Long road, strong no, this a grind. This a climb for some of us. In and out, double dutch. Unpacking what they done to us. Technology numbing us. Think about it, seen it coming up.
Oh no, they didn't.
Competition
No, they didn't.
30 years coming up, haven't done enough. Pride dangle right in front of us, better lies right up under us. How they rush the capital and run them up. Yeah, trying to raise capital for the month.
Alright. We in here. Welcome.
Hello.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Good. Another week. No
Another
Ordinary
week.
Podcast. Version 2. Gonna try to get it right. They'll probably never see the first one, but that's all right.
That's okay.
Yeah. We had to get it in the book. Get some stuff under control. Well, good. How was your week? Good?
It was good. My week was good. Like, I didn't work for a lot of days, so I was just chilling, went to the beach, stayed outside. How about you?
Good. I'm just loving life, working
Yeah.
hard. You know what I mean? I did go
That's
to
what
work
I
a
like
lot
to
this
hear.
week.
Yes, you did. That's good. Making money.
Yeah. One of us got to be working. You know what I mean?
One of us, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Everybody can be at the beach chilling.
just for a couple hours.
Yeah, but that's
couple
good.
hours
That's
of
good.
fun.
Well, let's get right into that. I feel like that's where we need to start. You know what I mean? We talked about last week making a schedule.
Yes,
Right.
I did make a schedule,
Made a schedule.
and I've been trying to follow it. Some of it gets done. I crossed some of the things off, but I've been taking them to the next day. That's what I'm fighting right now. But
Yeah, I mean that's part of
yeah,
it, right? I mean, weekend. Now you made your schedule. Now you get to see how much you're adhering to it versus how much you're pushing off, and then it's just about getting better every week.
yeah, and trying to prioritize some of the things, because I don't want to just do the basic things and then keep dragging other things that I really need to get done.
What are some of the basic
Yeah,
things?
basic things like working out, cooking. Trying to cook every day, putting some time set aside to read and make music and record, because I've been pushing that off. Like, that's like a urgent thing that I kind of gotta get done, because I've been pushing it off so long that now it becomes urgent. Now there's a deadline.
Right.
When in reality, if I had worked on it every day, then I wouldn't feel so pressured and rushed. You know what I mean? But I'm rushing myself because I want that. I want to get that done.
Right. I mean, it seems like it's a matter of rushing now or rushing later.
Yeah.
So either way, you're gonna be kind of pushing yourself. But if you can push yourself to get ahead on the schedule, then it makes a lot less of that rushing later.
Yeah.
You feel like you work better under pressure? Because I mean, you did. I remember, I sent you that track and you asked for a deadline. You're like, give me a deadline.
I really do feel like I work better under pressure, and also like moments that I say like, okay, I'm gonna get 3 videos done today. I'll end up getting like 8. So it's like I wait, and I'm lazy some days, and then on the last day I want to do everything at once, and I'm burnt out the next day. I'm like, when it should be a little bit this day, a little bit the next day, and maybe the next day you rest, and then
And do you feel like that's something that you learn and develop over time, or do you feel like more of this is kind of how I am, and maybe I should lean into that and create a schedule around that?
Oh, I never thought about it that way. Like, maybe I should.
I mean, an interesting topic, but off topic, but not off topic, that I've had with some people in the last couple
Mhm.
months, especially females, is like, they talk about their sync cycling when they work out. Just
Yeah.
certain times of the month, their energy is going to be higher or lower, just depending on where they're at in their cycle. Um,
Okay.
so I think that's something maybe you could look into, and I think too. I think once females get that information, then like a lot of the stuff that they feel like
Yeah.
it's happening, or they don't know why it's happening, or why I feel lazy on this day, why I don't feel, some of it starts to make a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
If they kind of can see that, hey, my body's just naturally going through this certain cycle every month, and at certain times I need to maybe give myself a little bit more grace, or at certain times I know I can go a little extra hard because my energy levels are going to be up, and then
Yeah.
kind of just being more aware at least, and then not putting not putting blame for that. When a lot of times you say some days I feel lazy and then some days I feel drained. Obviously, if you wait to do everything and then you at the very end do everything, that's going to be explosion of energy, and it's going to take a lot of energy out of you. you
Yeah.
know so it's
I
if
would I would totally do that, but because of the thing that I have, I don't even get them.
what, the energy bursts.
No, my
Oh,
cycle.
well, yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure, but it doesn't mean that your hormones aren't
I
aren't
don't
still
even know. I don't even know when my hormones are lazy or when they feeling productive.
right. Well, I
I
think,
don't
and
even
that's why I
know.
say kind of take note, like just naturally how you're feeling during those
Yes, like
times. You know what I mean?
during those
Right.
weeks
And
or days
understand,
even.
yeah, and understanding that just because you can't track it doesn't mean it's not happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that way you don't get so down on yourself whenever that does happen. It's not like, oh, it's just happening for no reason and I'm just not a good person. No, like it's happening for a reason. Now let me be understanding of
Yeah.
that, aware of it, and then kind of create my schedule to be most productive around it.
I like that.
But I think it's just not a contradiction, but another way of thinking about what we were talking about last week as far as setting that schedule.
Yeah.
Right. I do think men operate differently a little bit. I think they say our cycle is more of a daily cycle. So every
Okay.
day we kind of reset, versus
Yeah.
the woman is a monthly cycle. So for us, it's easy to make that schedule and then set every day because you're just resetting every day to that schedule. Versus a
Damn, yeah.
female who's going through a whole monthly type of deal, hormonally, that's literally going to affect her energy levels, how she feels, like how much she should be eating, how much she should be sleeping. Like
Yeah.
you have to kind of maybe prioritize your schedule a little bit differently, you know. So,
Okay, yeah.
but
I
just
could
like I
definitely
said,
try that.
giving yourself grace and understanding that some of it is not just you. It's like literally, physiological stuff that you can't control. And
Yeah.
if you're aware of it, then maybe that's something that you can schedule in as well. I think another thing interesting that you said is when you said basic things, you started with things that almost were more life associated.
Oh yeah.
Whenever you said like making time to cook, making time to work out every day, and making out. So how do you feel? How do you feel about the priority of those things, the life balance things versus the music, and where do they sit priority
Mm.
wise?
Like music is more of my priority, but at the same time, like I feel like if I do the life stuff and I get that in a routine, like the music will just integrate itself
Hmm.
quicker and faster if I feel better about myself. Like I know that if I work out, I'm gonna feel fit, I'm gonna feel good, I'm gonna feel energized. That you never know. Like one maybe after I work out, I feel that boost of energy, and I'm like, damn, let me work on my music right now.
Hmm.
Because when I'm like focusing on all this stuff that I have to get to do life wise, it's hard for me to focus on my creative side and digging deeper when I got so many other things on my mind that I'm just trying to, like, I don't know, with my music and my creating content, it's very like, I don't know, I want to be in my own bubble in order to create. So it's hard for me to like stay focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely
That's
more
my
of
problem
a,
right there.
yeah, more of a spiritual, mental type thing whenever you're creating.
Yeah.
So if you have a lot going on in your head or in your heart, then it's gonna always, I don't know. For some people it makes it harder. For some people they lean into that, and that's what they need. I'm one of those people. Like unless something like really bad happens, not bad necessarily, or really uh emotional happens to me, it's hard for me to get into like writing mode. I can make beats all day, forever and forever, but
Right. Yeah.
for
But
me to have something to say or have something to write about, like I have to be coming almost from a place of like extreme emotion
yeah.
personally. So, some people though, like I said, they need clear head, clear mind, clear heart, and that's fair
Yeah,
too.
that's really what I need. Like I feel like I can write music, but I won't have the energy to finish it, or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm just not.
Mm-hmm. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
nah.
No, that makes
I'm more of
perfect.
a happy girly, happy writing.
Right, right. That makes sense. And then, so, like you said, I think, as far as prioritizing, then that obviously should be putting your priority more towards those life things versus
Yeah,
the art thing. I know you want it to be a priority, right? Where does the job come in that list? You got life, you got job, and then you got music as
yeah.
well. You know,
I don't know, like
because a lot of times, I'll tell you one thing: a lot of times people do a lot of stuff. They'll go do a lot of things for their job that they won't do for their
for
passion or the thing that
themselves.
right.
Yeah, like how am I showing up to work on time
Hmm.
or 5 minutes
Hmm.
early?
And doesn't matter if your head's clear, your heart's clear, then you still going to work, right?
I'm in
Like,
there. Yeah, you're right. You calling me out. You calling me out. Hold
well,
up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold
calling
up.
everybody
Hold
out. I'm calling
up.
I'm calling everybody out. I'm
I
calling out.
know.
That they use that a lot of times. I hear in like relationship discussions. It's like, what I'm saying, you listen to your boss, but you won't listen to your man. Like, how does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like, your boss can tell you, get up right now, go do this, and you'll do
Yes.
it. But your man be like, hey, babe, you'll go make me some food, and you like, you
Uh,
know.
uh, oh my
So it's
god.
just kind of like
If
you
if
can
Julian asked me to make him a grilled cheese, I'll be on it. Like,
own
what
it,
kind of cheese?
own
What
it,
kind of cheese?
right, right. Let me get that section.
Let
Let me
me
get
get
that
that
section.
second
Yeah.
up.
Let me get that cut.
It's on my
So
closing card. Like, hold up.
so to me, it's like it's a matter of, that's why I say, where do you feel, where would you say they are prioritized, but then look at your actions, and then your actions are going to really show you the
Yeah.
prioritization. You know what I mean? Because we can say it all day, but
And like at the end of the day, we got to hold ourselves accountable.
hmm
Cuz I have the time.
hmm
I have the time and I can make the energy, but I'm
hmm
just sitting here wasting my energy on thinking when I
hmm
should be grinding.
right. I think a lot of
And
times, with that job, that check is coming at the end of the
mhm.
week. Versus with something like your passion, right? Then that check,
Yeah.
that check is not guaranteed. Matter of fact, you're still working to put those steps together to get to that check. you
Yeah.
know so I think not having that concrete thing to reach for is kind of
Mhm.
what makes that disconnect. But then that's also the most powerful thing, right? Because especially as artists, we know like the power of manifestation. We understand the power of anything that we create has to be an idea in our head first. And I think it's the same thing for life, right? Anything that you want in your life, it has to be clearly seen, visualized, and asked for in your head before it's going to come to fruition.
Yeah.
So I think in that same way that we create, we have to create in our life. And that's one of the ways to really manifest in your life, is finding out what those priorities are, and then making sure you're putting their energy towards what you say that priority list is, and making sure that you can keep that focus without necessarily having that clear, tangible thing check in mind, but you can still keep the focus on, hey, that's what I'm working towards. I'm working on that check that's coming.
Yeah. And like I don't want to be motivated by like the money or like the experiences that I'll get after I finish the product. Like I want to
Mhm,
be motivated by the journey and the
mhm,
process of creation and just like letting go and just doing the things and feeling in the moment, being present.
mhm.
Like I'm always focusing on the future, like the past, and I just want to
Right.
be like right here.
So I mean, that goes back to the same thing. It's interesting because it's like you don't want the money to be the motivation, but the thing that motivates you the most seems to be the money,
Literally.
because that's the thing
And that's most people. Like
that's most
no
people.
one's gonna wanna do anything if it's like not a check. Like,
Right.
okay, how much money is that making me?
Right.
If I
So.
work this many hours, like how much money is that? Like,
Mhm,
and I don't wanna be looking at anything like that in general. Like I
mhm.
wanna I don't know.
Well, I just think it serves the purpose of saying, if it you don't, not that you look at it like that, but obviously that's something that's going to motivate you more than
Yeah.
just that feeling of wanting to not motivate you. You know, it sounds good.
Hmm.
You know, it sounds good to be like, I don't want the money to motivate me,
But we
but
want the money.
because I guarantee you, if I said, "Hey, Ari, make this track," I'm writing you a $500 check right now. All you got to do is get the track done.
Oh,
You getting the check? You getting the track done?
I'll call off work. I'll be like,
Right.
I'm sick. Let me
We get
make
the
this
track
real quick.
done. So we can say we don't want money to be the motivation, but end of the
Yeah.
day, we know that money is literally going to be the strongest motivation because you've shown it by your actions with the things that you prioritize, and that job that you go to every day is clear indication that you're motivated by money.
That's
You know,
crazy.
and not, not only that, but just life in general. So when it talks about, you talk about setting up those life skills, right? Like you set up the life skill to be able to get up and go to work every day. You show up to
Yeah.
work on time every day. Like you can do all those things at work. You got to do them for yourself, right? You got to get
Yeah.
up every day. You got to make that schedule. You got to follow that schedule, even though you don't want to. You got to be able to change your schedule. So not only are you going to work, but you being the worker and the manager, because you got to make the schedule. You're about you ain't got nobody to
I'm
make the
my own
schedule for
boss.
you, right?
I'm
You know
my
what I'm
own
saying?
boss.
You got to keep yourself in line whenever you break the rules. You got to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that like I said, as creators, it's just funny because we understand the process of creation more than anybody. But then when it comes to implementing it in things outside of just the things that we create, like we tend to act like we don't get it.
Yeah.
But we do. I know we do. I know you do for sure.
I know I do. I know what I have
Hmm.
to do.
Yeah.
It's just doing it. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
But
And
we
talk,
gonna get there. I know I will get there. Like
yeah.
I've already started to like try.
Hmm.
So I just gotta keep,
So
I
what's
don't
the
want to ever get lazy.
so what's what when are you so you made your schedule? I think we podcasted on Thursday last week. You made the
Yeah.
schedule on Friday
Mhm.
because I came to work on Friday, which I usually don't do, but that money motivated me. So on Friday you made the you made the schedule. So when are you writing your schedule for this coming up week, or are you still doing it day by day?
I'm still doing it day by day. Like I made like a schedule for how I want most of my days to look, like the days that I go to work as
Mm-hmm.
seasons. But I also got a daily planner to see, what are my to-dos for the day, and like
Hmm.
if I need to like, do some life things, or if I want to be more creative. Like I've I've been creating a lot of content, but
Hmm.
I haven't been like editing it and posting it. So I started to put that on my daily so that I'll have something to
Perfect.
post. And instead of posting like everything in one day, I can, spread them out.
Spread it out.
I could do
Spread it
like,
out. I mean, that one day when you posted all those reels, I mean, that's half a month's worth of content. You
I
just put
know,
it all
like,
out on
I
one day.
just, I have to like,
But I
spread it
think
out, spread
also
it out.
too, it's pretty dope seeing that you could do that. Like I was impressed at the amount of content that you could come out with out of just a couple clips. You know what I mean? That weren't terribly
Yeah.
long.
Oh my God, I have so much more.
I mean,
But
well,
I want to like, I don't know. I don't know
I
why I don't
mean,
post them.
and here's the thing too, like all of these things that you do, you have to understand this, that you're developing skills too. And sometimes like just people seeing that you can make that much content that quickly and do it efficiently, like that's a skill. Like don't don't necessarily always look at the content as the goal, but like I honestly can tell that you're becoming a real good content creator in general. And like that you can use as a skill that you could actually monetize as well. So don't take that for granted. You know what I mean? So that the part about editing and kind of diving into that, making sure that's on your schedule, like all of those things, getting better at those little things, like
Yeah.
they're actually skills that you can use, for more than just yourself, and you can get paid off of for more than just yourself. So doing all of that, building systems. So that's that's I wanted to talk a little bit more about the step by step things to do to fill out your schedule, but in general, figuring out systems and building systems that work is also a skill. So by you implementing this schedule, you're building a system for yourself. Like
Yes.
if you're able to put out 18 pieces of content in one day, like
Mhm.
you have a system developed that you're using to be able to produce that. Because I can't, there's no way. Like I see it, I understand it, but to actually go through the steps of producing that much content, like out of one clip you can produce like 5 6 different clips. Like
Yeah.
that in itself is a skill, and like that's kind of what you're perfecting and you're building. And like, so they say you don't really know how to do something unless you can teach somebody else how to do it. So start thinking about how you can take what you're doing
Okay.
with your content as a system and then kind of be able to teach somebody else your ways of doing that. Like I said, I think the content creation thing, I think, is really where, I mean, you could really kind of lean in and do a lot more damage quicker. We talked about just like, right, sprinkling the music into one of those 12 reels,
Yes.
those 12 reels, and like so that way it doesn't have to be intrusive, and like if you're literally putting out 12 reels at a time, I mean, you putting out your one song doesn't seem like you're promoting it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just seems like it's another
You
backtrack
have to.
in your content.
Yeah.
But yeah, very very impressed at that. And
Thank you.
glad that you have the editing stuff in your schedule now.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I mean, like, I love create, like, I've been wanting to get my sister out and with her professional camera and like
Mhm.
just making movies, man. I'm trying to make movies.
Making movies
I'm
for
trying to make
real,
films.
for
I'm
real.
trying to do all that because I love the process of
Hmm.
creating. That's my favorite part. And
Hmm.
also watching it in the end, like with all the editing that I
When you see
did.
it
Like
put out
even
together.
though people may think it's like simple, like some
Hmm.
of those videos be taking me like 30
I know.
minutes to an
Trust me.
hour. I'm like going back and forth, trying to get the transitions right, get the cuts right, make people want to rewatch it. Like I'm still working on it, but
No, it's the same.
and then by moments, I'll get
Yeah,
it down.
I get it. That's the music's the same way. People think it's
Mhm.
just, oh, get up on there and record, and it's like,
And
nah,
it's finished in one take.
yeah, nah,
Repeat,
right,
repeat,
right,
repeat.
right, right. So, like you said, falling in love with the process is super important. That's a super
Mhm.
important part. And then what's holding you back from making movies?
I think I don't know. I'm scared. I'm thinking like I'm fearful. I'm fearful like I have this aura about me that I don't care what people think. You know what I mean? But in reality, like I do care.
Right, those are the people that care the most.
Yeah. I do care. I care a
Hmm.
lot.
Hmm.
And when I'm creating, sometimes I'm like, "Oh my god, is this too corny or is this too cringy or what are people going to think?" But then I don't know. Then the next day I'm like, "Oh no, I don't care." But I
Hmm.
do care, and I think that stops me from like the editing part. I don't want to see the cringy parts or see these parts, but it's like how do I know if people are even going to think that?
Right,
And if they do, like who cares?
right.
So I'm like stuck. I'm stuck in two bubbles and I need to pop them out.
I don't think you're stuck at all. Honestly, I think you already out there, so you might as well get
I'm
over it.
already right.
Like, you already out
I'm already
there.
cringe. I'm already
Yeah, you
cringe.
already out there.
I just gotta be out.
You already got, think about it realistically. You already probably got about 70% more content than the average person out on
Yeah,
the
I
internet.
would say that. Yeah, I could say
You know
that.
what I'm saying? Like, so like you top 30% already, you out there. Like, where, so if they laughing, they already laughing at you. They've been laughing at you. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well get over that. Like, you out there, you know.
Oh my gosh.
And
Yeah.
why you feel like your movie would be cringe? What's the first thing you would do a movie about if you could do a movie?
I don't know. Probably some like running in the forest, running in the forest, or something outside. Definitely something outside. Like yeah,
Huh. That's
very emotional. Like I'm a very emotional person, and when I
mhm.
create, I want it to be like
Emotion invoking.
emotional. Yes, but at the same time, I don't know. I think that's I don't know. sometimes I get like really cringy when I'm emotional, so I feel like other people are gonna think funny about me, but
Yeah, but I
whatever.
mean,
Whatever.
there's a lot of emotional people in the world. I'm pretty sure you'll have an audience.
Oh yeah, I'll for
You know?
sure have an audience.
Right, right. So what you would just want to do like some kind of short film, like you running in the forest and then a butterfly, a
Yeah,
caterpillar
like
turns into a butterfly. I don't know what is it.
I'm gonna turn into a butterfly. Like yeah. No, something like I really want to do like vlogs that are kind of, it's more like a film, like a lot of voiceover in
Mhm,
my, like if I go camping or if I
mhm.
go on a trail with my sister, like an ordinary day.
Right.
But I also want to make it more like, different scenes and different cameras pointing at the same scene and things
Mhm,
like that it's more kind of like a film structure
mhm.
than regular like da 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 just on one. You know what I mean? I want it to be
Feel
more
it.
professional. Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
That's for another podcast.
Another, yeah.
No, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
Definitely don't let the fear stop you, you know?
I know. I just gotta let it go.
Yeah. And then yeah, what's up with your sister, man? You gotta get her out there.
I
She a
know.
whole photographer, you know what I mean?
And she's a good one too.
Yeah.
Like
No,
I
she
just be
does good.
looking at her, I'm like, damn, like at your age, I was not as cool as you are.
Right.
Like,
Right.
she's too cool for me.
Is that what it is? Shit is too cool for you?
She's too cool for me.
Yeah.
But she does love creating with me. Like she's another creator, she's
Right.
down to do anything. She'll do the same thing as me. Like
Right. I mean, make
she
that
posts more than
space.
me. She posts more than me.
Well, make that space and time. You know what I mean?
I
Y'all
know.
gotta.
I gotta schedule with her.
Yeah. I mean, I saw you took some content from the beach.
Hmm.
Like, right, obviously, like all your content is pretty going like outside theme is like a big thing with you.
Yeah. I
But I
I,
mean,
I want to like yesterday I was like, oh my gosh, like I love this podcasting that we're doing,
mhm,
and like I would love to like sit down outside,
right, right,
two little
right,
mics with my sister and
right.
just be la 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 just talking shit with her.
Why
Like
not?
that's what I want to do.
Right. Why not?
I know, and it'll be cute. I feel like it'd be cute. I have a lot of questions that I would love to ask her,
Why not?
and
What's stopping y'all? You know?
it's just all in my head. It stays in my head.
I mean, I think part of it's in your head. I think part of it is legitimately time. If you have this many different things that you want to do, then time is obviously going to be of importance, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're going to be efficient at it, then you got to have time to do it all. So I mean, obviously that goes back to scheduling, making sure
Mhm.
scheduling is done. But then at the same time, it's literally that's I just keep asking you the same question, right? What's stopping you? You know, figure out what's stopping you, and then cross things off the list of things that are stopping you, and get to that what you need to be doing. Like
Yeah.
I can already tell right now, time and resources. To me, though, it always goes back to time and resources. Like we all have a million ideas, and usually the biggest things are time and resources. And then if you go back to if time, you can fix if you become more efficient with your time, scheduling out, planning. You can find time, right? You keep saying, "I have time. I have time."
Yeah.
Resources. That's a whole nother issue. But at the same time, if you're trying to keep adding this, I want to do this, I want to do this, at some point resources are going to become an issue. Like we working, we got bills, we got life. Like we legit can't pay for everything.
And on the resources thing, I've been reading this book,
Hmm.
Atomic Habits, great
Okay.
book.
Okay.
And I'm at the chapter where it's like your environment affects your habits. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like if I want to do music, like I gotta surround myself with people who
Hmm.
do music. Like I love
100%.
surrounding myself with you because you motivate me. Like
Right.
I see you and I see you with this mic and I see you with the music every time I see you post and I'm like, dang, I want to get another single out. I want to get an album out.
Hmm.
And if I surround myself with like you and Jerome and Joey and any singer, like even if we're just singing at karaoke, like
Hmm.
that,
That's the vibe.
that's the vibe. Like the
Hmm.
the energy is there. We're motivating each other. We're using like I basically like used your mic, and that was my
Hmm.
resource for my first, and I'm grateful for that. Like if
Right.
I didn't have you in my community, then I wouldn't instilled that habit. I wouldn't went out and
Right.
bought my own
Right.
microphone
Right.
and been
Right. Right.
motivated.
Yeah.
So I feel like we can, as individuals, we can come together as a community and use each other. Like, use my mic, use
Hmm.
my laptop, use this. Like, as long as we're, coming back and forth and doing things for each other, then trade for profit, baby. Trade for
Right for
profit.
profit. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I mean, the hardest part is just getting everybody together. You know,
Yeah.
we tried scheduling it. I've tried scheduling it. That didn't work. But
But I loved that day that we all came
everybody
together.
did. Everybody
Oh my
loved it. But
gosh.
at the same time, it's like I think that is, I don't know, man. I think that's a very interesting part of life. Is like, you know, we fall in love with these moments, but then it's like we're so hard to get people back to those
Back
moments.
to it.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's like we had a plan. We all sat. We had a plan. Hey, we're gonna do this once a month. We're gonna get together. Da da da. And it always sounds good. And it always feels good. And I told y'all in that meeting, I said 2 months we'll know who's sticking to it and who falling off because it's very evident. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
but if I hear people all the time say, "Oh, I love being in the studio. I love recording. I love making music. I love it." It's all right. Well, then why are
Why
you
you not in
not
it?
doing it? Like, you know
But
what I mean? Where's the disconnect? And to me, like I said, time and resources seem to be at the top of the list. The only other thing is you lie. That's the other thing you can be. You
we
you
be
lie.
and we be lying
We be
sometimes.
lying, and
I be
people be
lying. We
lying.
be
I'm
lying
telling
to
you. I'm
ourselves.
telling you, we be lying to
That's why
ourselves.
I'm
And
not
that's
doing
why,
the
and that's why,
victimizing. Like,
right. That's why with everybody I talk to, I leave them where I say, hey, I'm trying to meet you where you at. I ain't asking to nothing of you. I already know how this go. You can lie to me all you want, because at the end of the day, you lying to yourself. You know what I mean?
hmm
But like I say, just being a person, I've learned over time that it's better not to hold everybody to the same standard that I have, especially when it comes
yeah,
to a passion or music.
no
You know,
limitations.
yeah, you got to meet people where they're at, and then at the same time, it's I always rather be just a good person than worry about making good music. Like being a good person is more important. So it's like even with you, where I'm just like I just rather not be on your ass all the time, and then you end up resenting me and being like,
I don't resent you.
I know, but I know how I am. I'm very preachy. I'm a preachy person. Like if you're talking to me, like I'd rather be talking about some real shit. And if we're not talking about that or getting better, then I'm probably not got too much to say to you. And so I know how it can be. Like people don't even want to talk to me because they just know I'm gonna be on them. I know
Well,
that, yeah, but that's to me, that's being a real person. That's
yeah.
wanting for somebody else as much as you want for yourself. That's all
hmm
it comes from a place. But at the same time, everybody don't want to hear that. Not from everyone either at the same time. So, but yeah, I think that goes back to time management. I think you got a lot you want to do. Put it in the schedule, man. I think it's easy to get people together. I just think we have to be intentful about it. You know, we have to literally just be intentful and schedule it in and say, hey, this is what we're doing when we're doing it. It's always easier to do it whenever there's a show. Like whenever I can say, hey, I can get y'all on the stage and everybody come out. Yeah, there's an event. Like we're drinking, we're having fun. But it's like those aren't the moments that make you better. Like the moments that make you better are, the random Tuesday nights whenever everybody's just coming over and just writing for 3 hours, not even recording
And
anything, and like
freestyling, like that
freestyling and
was
like, yeah. So I mean, it's getting back to more of those moments, but um, yeah. I mean, stop lying. I guess that'll be the conclusion to that portion. Stop lying.
it's not lying.
Yep,
Um,
stop lying.
you know,
I was just thinking, it crossed my mind too. If you're looking for your idea for your first movie, it should be the music video. You got a whole music video that you
yes,
can shoot. So
yes,
it's like you
yes.
got a theme outside, like you know what I mean, like shoot a music video.
Yeah,
You should be shooting 12
I
different music
should.
videos to that same song. There's no reason. You could be making little short stories, just with clips of the music in the back. So you got plenty of ideas and content. Now, here's the thing too, right? Like resources. So we talked about time, we talked about money, but then it's people, right? Because you can say you want to do all of this stuff, but I guarantee. So I keep saying how I'm wary of the filming and the camera and all of this stuff, and it's just because I know how I am, and I'm almost a perfectionist. So it's like when I start stuff like that, then I want it to be as good as
Yeah,
I can make
perfect.
it.
Yeah.
And but that takes time. That takes time learning, reading, researching. Like it takes time in doing it and doing it over and over for a long time
Yeah.
to actually get better. So it's like I want to do so many things, but at the same time, I'll never be good enough at anything if I'm trying to do too many things because I can't put the same time and research and development at that thing that the people that is somebody that's just focused on that one thing is. You know,
Yeah.
in the top people in any industry are usually just focused on that one
On
thing,
one thing. Yeah.
right? Versus, so it's like spreading yourself out. You have to be kind of wary of too. It's not bad to have all those ideas, but then like being realistic about how am I going to get all that done? You know, if you start a podcast, do you have time to edit it? Do you have time to host it? You got to make all new social medias for the podcast. You got to, you know what I'm saying? Like you
Oh
got.
yeah, no, no, no. I don't wanna do like a podcast like that. Like I just wanna like I wanna be I know that people have to like find a niche or whatever or
Mhm,
do one thing. Like I want if I'm gonna content create, I want it to be like all aspects, like
mhm,
talking to people, talking to myself,
mhm,
getting ready videos, makeup videos. Oh, we're cooking or something, some bullshit.
mhm,
We're going outside in nature. We're going to the pool. We're like, it's just like my life all
mhm.
together. We're creating music today. I'm getting flowers done today. Like just a
Vlog,
yeah,
vlog
a
stuff.
vlog, the vlog of ARIELIS. Like you here, bitch. What are we doing today? Like
Mhm,
that's kind of how I want to do it. So that I don't have to make 70 different pages for like the 70 different versions of myself because that's what
mhm.
I feel like it is at this point. I got the floors, I got the real estate, I got the music, I'm a waitress. I want to make drinks. I want to do flowers. Like what is
So
going on?
that's
I
so
can't
that's
even.
that's definitely real life, right? Like, and I feel like if you think about it, that's everybody's life,
Yeah.
right? There's no one person that's going on social media and looking at one thing. Like,
Mhm.
I just look at puppies, or I
Yeah.
just look at music videos, or I just look
Yes.
at, you know what I mean? Nobody's doing that, right? But at the
Yeah.
same time, you got to think about when they do consume those things, like the people that they are consuming from are more likely to be people that are just doing that one thing,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
You know, so
that
it's
can't be
not.
me. I
Right. So
can't.
it's not about breaking all of that stuff up for the purposes of just breaking all of that stuff up. You know, it's breaking it up with the intent of bringing in more viewership. You
Yeah.
know, so that just goes to uh, I think open space, right, in the market, especially content creation, is trying to build a brand that can be all inclusive and have a bunch of different things kind of going on without it seeming too all over the place.
Yes.
I feel like that is the purpose of No Ordinary Podcast. I feel like that was kind of the point behind the name, is that I don't have to be locked in and branded to any one style of podcast. I could be doing a behind the scenes video with you right now. I could be doing an artist interview the next day. I'll be doing a radio show where I'm spinning music off of a certain platform. Like I'll be doing a bunch of different things and not necessarily having to put them under one umbrella. But I do feel like the No Ordinary podcast generalizes it in that way. Like it's
I
no
love
ordinary.
that.
It's not ordinary. It's not what you would normally see. But at the same time, I am conscious of branding, right? Making sure I'm branding it. I will make another YouTube page for it, but I also do have uh, a need for me to compartmentalize personally. Like
Yes.
I personally don't have a life that's very all over the place. My music is kind of like the focus and the center, and that's kind of how I want the brand to be.
Of
Obviously, you see the
course.
microphone in the corner, right? So it's like
Like I love it.
I could do a podcast, but there's no way I'm gonna leave music out of it, right? You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
I'm with you. You're a music artist right now. Like the podcast in general is still gonna be more geared towards music.
Music.
Then
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go start probably talking about sports or probably talking about politics or anything like that. You know, so
Mm-mm.
um, not I'm not rebranding. I'm adjacently branding,
I love that.
right? You know, so I still have No Ordinary. NOC is where the name came from. Katie of the NOC, No Ordinary Cats. So it keeps the branding there, but still it is separate. And I do think in business, it's not about being separate, but it is about being clear. It's about being clear and intentful, you know. So even if you are trying to build a brand that does have a bunch of you in it, and a lot of different things going on too, you still have to have a system that's going to keep things clear and concise for people when they do come to consume. So,
Yeah.
right. So, because I'll tell you right now, like you sitting down and doing the outside nature video, like that, like if you're just sitting down and letting the camera run and you just talking questions, that content's not going to do very good on the Instagram,
Oh yeah, no.
right? It's going to do good on YouTube,
Mhm.
you know. So part of that co-branding is, right, you don't have to go make a new YouTube page, you know, but whenever you do post a certain type of content, I'm gonna post this to YouTube and I'm gonna post this to Instagram, I'm gonna post this on
Like switch
TikTok
it
and make
up.
it right
Yeah.
where you're posting things, you know, just because you do have to kind of be clear and intentful, because if consumers are coming to your brand and not knowing what to expect every day, they're not going to keep coming to your brand. They do kind
Mhm.
of need to have a certain expectation of what they're getting in order to feel like they can invest into it over a long period of time, you know.
Yeah, and continue like investing.
So I feel like that's a good goal, but something definitely to think about, because you're
Mhm.
definitely a very multifaceted brand. But I also think that's the thing right now. I think that is the wave right now. Like the younger generation does want to show every side of them. They don't want to just show one side of them and one thing, you know. But
Yeah.
then also being able to take that and monetize it, you know,
Because
is
then you end up being like a lifestyle creator, instead of just being, oh, a travel creator or a foodie creator or a makeup creator. Like, it's more like, you do everything. I want to, not like, you're right. I don't want it to be all over the place. But
Mhm,
like, let's say I start a makeup.
mhm,
Well, what if I don't want to do makeup? What if I reach like 30 and I, clean my face and I just go skincare,
mhm,
free? It's going to be hard to transition over to that, or maybe it'll be easy, I don't know. I don't blame it, but I kind of want to be, you know, all over the place,
mhm.
but not, but more controlled.
Yeah,
A
having some
That's
control.
what
Well,
I
I'm
want to
just
be.
trying, like, think about like who's a content creator that you would feel like mimics that very well. That's kind of just lifestyle and not in a niche, all over the place, but controlled.
I don't know. I don't really follow a lot of content creators, but
Mhm.
like out of the ones that I have seen that I remember, I don't know, maybe like Alex Earl or something. Like
Oh,
she does makeup, she does college life, she does
mhm,
influencer events. Like it's kind of like more like that Barbie, like Sex in the City kind of vibe, but
mhm.
still she shows everything that she's
What a,
interested in.
what does she sell?
I don't know what she sells. I don't. She probably sells something. Everybody
Oh, I
starts to sell
guarantee she
something.
sells something, right?
I
And
don't know though.
so to me, that's kind of where that intentfulness comes in, right? Like it's easy to just create content, but then when one of those little niches offer you a check,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden is your content gonna become more
Probably like she probably like gets brand sponsored by the makeup she uses or the clothes that she wears, because it's more of kind of like that lifestyle, like fashion and having
Mhm.
fun and
So you see
getting
how also
drunk.
you could kind of like typecast it, right? You were like, oh, it's kind of Sex in the City.
Yeah, I
That's her
like that.
thing.
It's
That's
cute.
her
Yeah.
thing though. That's not all over the place. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
That's a very
that's her.
specific,
Yeah, that's her. Yeah.
right? You know, so it's like I'm just trying to think of some big names that I'm
I
Kaisenet,
haven't
right?
really seen like a lot that are all besides the YouTubers.
Right.
Like the YouTubers they be doing a whole bunch of shit.
hmm
But
but even when they're doing a whole bunch of shit, they're still right. I'm just thinking like Kai Cenat, right? Like
yeah,
he's kind of all over the place, does a bunch of stuff, but his thing is funny. He's funny. That's his thing.
yes.
He's funny. Like that.
But
He's
he's
very
funny doing
funny,
anything.
energetic. He's physical funny. He's very energetic, hype, live, and then that's his niche, funny. You know, like he
Yeah.
doesn't really get outside of that. Like it might seem like he's doing a lot of stuff because he's over in Africa, or but he's still just talking to people and being funny. Like
Yeah.
that is thing. Um, like if I think of like a Cody Cole, like you know what I mean, like their brand is like, even though like they did the show the Bros or whatever, you know, where it's like even though they're kind of just funny podcast doing whatever they want, there's still kind of like a certain kind of guy that they're mimicking, that they're typecasting,
Yeah.
and like people relate to it because it's like, oh, I know somebody that's like that.
Okay.
So there's still a draw for the consumer that like they need to kind of understand it a little bit. So i think I think if you looked at content creation, makeup, I think if you looked at singing, I think if you looked at uh the movies, right, I think the only thing that I can't kind of put in is the flowers. But
Oh yeah.
other than that, I would feel like the common thing is entertainment,
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean? Like, even though it's like you're doing a bunch of different stuff, like all of them kind of have to do with entertainment.
Mhm.
Like Rihanna's Fenty goes off good because people want to look like a high-end entertainer, right? Like somebody that's culturally like iconic, like from an entertainment perspective. Like that's why her
Yeah.
makeup sells. That's why her lingerie sells. Like she's a sex symbol. Like, you know what I mean? But she got there because of the entertainment. She's an entertainer. It's not that people are looking for she has a brand, bad girl, you know what I mean, sexy, like
Yes.
she's still selling a type, you know what I mean, like it's still not out of control. Like
Yeah.
nobody's looking for Rihanna to come be soft girl. Like soft girls
No. Yeah.
aren't following
That's
Rihanna,
her. That's
that's
her
her
thing.
thing, right? You know what I mean? So yeah, she's all over the place and doing a bunch of stuff, but they still kind of draw back to like that
Yeah.
persona that she has, you know what I mean, and that essence of who she is. Just like you have a lot of things going on, but there's still an essence of ARIELIS that you have to kind of find, and then that's what you want to brand,
Yeah.
whatever that baseline essence, and then all of those other things are just going to tie in, right? Artistic, um, I think mental health, I think self care, I think to me you're a soft girl, like you know what I mean, like I think all of those things are like different, but like at the same time you can incorporate them and then kind of create around that brand that doesn't have to be in a box, right?
Yeah.
You can still branch out, but then at the same time you're making sure that everyone still understands what the brand is. And I think that's where the flowers come in, right? I think a flower is a good branding tool for you. Like it's very reminiscent to me of like your essence, it's very flower, like floral, like, so that to me that's the association I make, so it's like, all
Okay.
right, you can go create that movie about whatever, but put some flowers in it,
Some
you know.
flowers in it. Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean,
I love flowers. Like
right, just to keep it on point, just to keep it on in within brand, right? You know what I mean, like you can
mess
go
around, have people go into the grocery store, look at a pair of flowers, and
look
think
at
Arielis.
Realist, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like even with the
Flower
outside
sales go up.
podcast. So it's like, okay, boom, outside podcast nature. You better have some flowers, some beautiful flowers around. You know what I mean? And then that's what's bringing it into kind of like your world, your brand. Like,
Yeah.
um, so it's not bad to have all of those things going, but then kind of just making sure like they're still pointing back towards whatever you're selling.
Yeah.
So I think that's the reason why a lot of people will cut things and segment things so they can compartmentalize, and they might not have a true understanding of who they are intrinsically, like on that level. So I think having that awareness, brand awareness, is important to make sure everything's pointing back to whatever you're selling, and you want to obviously sell your authenticity. I think that's a big thing that you comes through in your creativity, right? The vulnerability, like putting yourself out there, like I think that's where you're ahead of the game right now. Like I said, you got 70% more content than most people out there right now. So
I'm trying.
no, you're doing it.
Trying.
You're doing more. You're doing it. You're doing it. All right. So we at 50 minutes.
Yeah.
What's the goal? What's the goal for next week? What's the one goal?
So the goal for next week is I'm going to New York. So by the end of my New York trip, I want to have at least 2 million pieces of content ready. No, I'm just kidding. I want to have a good set because like I want every day to be spontaneous and fun with my sister.
Good.
So I want us to create over there, and we are going to that event. So I want us to, network with the organizers.
You got your questions?
I'll put myself out there.
Get your questions ready. Have your questions ready. Tell your sister too. Tell your sister have her questions ready.
Yes.
I think
She don't really like I mean, like that's not really her style, like the princessy. But at the same time, I love seeing her in it. So
What do you mean that's not her style?
she is more of like a, I don't know, like sexy, but also like tomboyish kind
Mhm.
of. She's yes,
So what? That
yeah.
means she can't network?
Oh, she can definitely network.
Yeah,
She can
that's what I'm
definitely
saying.
network. She could definitely network.
That's what I'm saying. Is make sure she have her questions ready.
Yeah.
Making sure, just make sure the people around you are just as intentful as you and on the same page. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want to
That's
befriend no person that's not about it.
well, not that, but I just think your sister is somebody who it's probably easier to have those conversations with, right? Because it's like a perfect example is like when we have a show. When we have a show, a lot of times like there's a lot of stuff I'm thinking about that I know y'all aren't thinking about that I really don't bring up to y'all just because I rather y'all enjoy the show. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like I should be making sure y'all are on point and y'all are, getting the most benefit out of this experience as we can, like all as a
I
group.
see. Like you be thinking more of like the business. Like, okay,
Right.
are y'all networking or what,
Right,
who you
right,
talk
right,
to?
right. Who you talking to? Did you go talk to the
Mm-hmm.
DJ afterwards? Did you go thank the host of the show? Did you all the little stuff
Yeah.
background wise? Like I could like it's very hard unless it's the same just like recording or anything else. Unless somebody I'm consistently doing with somebody, you're not gonna get all the information because I can't throw that much information at you at one time. Like just being there and performing and getting through the experience is good, and then I can throw in a little bit here and there, but there's a lot of stuff that it's like just making sure the people that you're with whenever you have your moments. These are your moments. These are moments that
Yeah.
can change and shape your life, right? Taking a trip to New York, going to an event like that, like it doesn't seem like it, but like
Use my opportunities.
one contact, right? One contact can change how everything's going. So it's just making sure everybody, kind of understands the goal and
Yeah.
is on the same page. That's all. Because she's got just as much, if she's around somebody that like you who sees the bigger picture, there's no reason why that can't rub off on her
Heck
too.
yeah. I
And
want I
the
want her to make it bigger than I do.
exactly, and the younger you can start, the better. I
Yes.
think that's the harder part, is just with youth comes that feeling of I have time, and you know I think that's very dangerous, just a very dangerous thing. We all fall into it.
Mhm.
I fell into it. We all fall into it. But
Yeah.
that having I have time thing is, you wake up and you're 40. Trust me. Trust me. You wake up and you're 40, and you heard people tell you all your life. You heard people tell you
I
all your
know,
life
and
it's
I'm
gonna go
not.
by faster than you think. It's gonna go by faster than you think. But like when you really think about it, like there's some 25-year-old right now that's out there going hard, killing it in life. You know what I mean? Like it ain't like it's impossible. There's some
Mhm.
18-year-old out there that's going hard, that's killing it in life. Like, you know, it ain't impossible. Like you can be young and still have good habits. You can be young and still have
Of
discipline. You can
course.
be young and still be on your shit. Like, you know. So
We gonna get it. We gonna get it.
yeah, yeah, have fun. Have fun. Definitely have to, that's the biggest thing. Have fun and enjoy the trip.
Thank you.
For sure, for sure, for sure. And then yeah, hopefully we'll next week sometime we'll get back at it.
Yes.
Get back at it. You do have one deadline from me though. So don't
Oh.
forget that.
Uh-oh.
I wrote it down somewhere, or maybe I put it in my calendar.
Send it
August.
over.
It's like August 15th. Nah, I texted you already. What you
Oh, did
mean?
you?
Yeah, it's like August 5th. You asked for a deadline. I gave you a deadline.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. For the for that first
Yeah,
record.
1 month. 1 month. 1 month from the 12th. August 12th.
All right.
I'm gonna just keep reminding you. That's all. You ain't gonna do it to the 11th. You just told me that.
No, 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 no,
You
no,
just
no,
told me that.
no. Oh my God. Nah, we gonna get it. We gonna get it.
Cool. 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 But yeah, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time.
Appreciate you too. Nice
You know,
talking to you.
always we're gonna keep it going. Keep getting better every day.
Hmm.
And yeah, just work on that schedule, man. Let's get
Do
that
it.
schedule done. You talking about it now. You wrote it down. You got it. Now let's
It's
get it.
done. Now I gotta get it. Now I gotta get
Yeah.
it done.
Just get ahead. You know what I mean? And things will start falling in place. I'm glad that you're reading. Glad that you're thinking about working out.
Mhm. No, I've been working out.
Oh, you've been working out.
Not just thinking.
Oh, okay. Okay. What you been
Yeah,
doing?
a lot of like stretches. Like
Okay.
I've been trying to do them more in here because I'd be a little too shy to go to the gym, but
Mhm.
I've been doing like stretches and low-key my body be hurting. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, no,
You
I
got to
gotta
get
do
on
this
that
more
Pilates,
often.
man. I'm telling you, get on that
I
Pilates.
know.
It's fire. It's fire. Cause then you're gonna get a little workout too. Then you get a little muscle strengthening too. But they got the stretching. It's like a lot of stretching.
Yeah.
It's fire.
I need that. I need
30,
that.
30 minutes, hour a day. That's all it takes. Just put on a little YouTube video and get it in.
Yeah.
Get it in. Yeah, man. But that's good, man. That's what it's about. If you develop those habits, everything else will fall into place. So
They really will.
sure. Yeah, man. All right. Well, I'm gonna let you go. I ain't gonna take too much of your
Bye.
time. I appreciate you. And
Thank you.
yeah, we'll get back at it next week.
Yes.
All right, homie.
Bye.
Trying to raise capital for the month, add value for the month. Roadblocks in front of us, so hot in the summer months. Dealing with a lot to sum it up. Thinking it's a lot, think again. Lock when living in. I'm pinching in slow motion.